Number one ghetto boy. 248-632-PAIN. 24-hour hotline, you know? We specialize in helping auto accident victims. You feel me? Call right now. Hey. Car accidents, they ain't no fun. Know the people you can call for a hit and run. Specialize in helping auto accident victims. It don't matter, they help men, women, and children. Can't spare your wealth without your help. And they 24 hours, call them if you need help. Call for anything, it don't matter what's the reason. They helping everybody, they on deck if you need them. Say somebody hit your car and they kept going. Just call the hotline and we got help coming. They gon' pull right up like they left something. 248-632-PAIN, that's the best number. Yeah, make sure you call the hotline, we working 24 hours. 248-632-PAIN. You can't spend your wealth without your help, homeboy. You know? Hey, 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 hey. 248-632-PAIN, let's get it.
Hello, and everyone, welcome to Attorneys Are Us, a new show here on WHPR where we are talking to an attorney, which is Attorney Thomas Courts. I was going to say doctor. I go from one show where I talk about doctor stuff, and now I'm talking about attorneys. I'm your host, Helen, and we're here with Attorney Thomas Courts, and we're going to talk about what to do in the event that you might be in an auto accident. Unfortunately, hopefully that never happens to you, but if it does, we're going to help you out today and tell you what to do. So welcome, Thomas.
Thanks for having me, Helen. I appreciate it.
Yes, we're excited today. I'm excited. We're going to be doing this for probably a while, so you guys better stay tuned. And you can email us or call us with questions if you have questions as well. I'm excited about this because, as I talked to you before, I've told you I've been in an auto accident, and I was the victim. I was hit by an unlicensed driver, and they fled the scene. But thankfully, I was unconscious. Thankfully, people around me in the community kept him from leaving. So he was apprehended by the police. But I'm like, where does that leave me? He doesn't have any insurance. I'm covered, full coverage with insurance, and I really didn't know. So first of all, tell us a little bit about you and your firm, and then tell me what I should have done when I was in that auto accident.
Sure, Helen, absolutely. So my name's Thomas Courts. My firm mainly deals with auto accidents, occasionally criminal cases for fun. And the good news about the state of Michigan is in that circumstance, you're covered under the no-fault system.
Okay.
So in a lot of states, when somebody hits you and they run away, you have literally no recourse.
Wow.
And so people are often severely injured with no recourse. And so our government got together and they invented the no-fault system. And what that means is they wanted to ensure, regardless of fault, that if you're in an auto accident, your medical bills for the rest of your life relating to injuries from that accident will be covered.
Wow. I had no idea. And here I am. I'm sitting there, and then next thing I know, I'm in the ambulance. And I did not know. But the strange thing, Tom, is that people kept calling me. How did these people get my phone number? They were calling me saying, we heard you've been in an auto accident. Are you okay? We can help you with, like, therapy. And I was so confused, you know?
Sure. Well, that's another good point you make, Helen. So that would be solicitation. So it happens after auto accidents. It's illegal in this state.
Wow.
I have a controversial belief on it. Obviously, as an attorney, we don't support it because it's illegal. However, I believe that, it's kind of a scam from the insurance company. The lawyers in this state aren't allowed to contact you after your accident. You have to contact them.
Okay.
And the ideal behind it is you don't want to be bothered after an accident. And I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But the insurance companies, as you see from your mail every month, they randomly bother you trying to get you to buy this product, this overpriced product, and they often, solicit you. So you can't be bothered with somebody telling you about all your benefits legally, but you can there. So you really shouldn't deal with solicitors when they call you, because anybody who's willing to break the law isn't a good person to deal with.
I agree with that, and I'm glad I didn't get involved with them. But what would be, not in, trying to push anyone to you, but what should I do if I'm in a car accident and I'm able to talk and take care of myself? So if I'm in that position where I'm able to get out my car or come home from the hospital, what's the first thing I should do when I feel a little better?
Well, you should contact an attorney. My number is 844-TOM-FIGHTS. The reason you should do that is your insurance company will definitely contact you. And even though they're supposedly your insurance company, I think we all know insurance companies are there to make profit.
Yes.
And the only way that they really make profit is by taking in a large amount of money and not paying that much money out.
Right.
And that results in some very terrible circumstances in the state. And so my advice is you should always have an attorney in your corner.
Okay, so I am in this car accident. I'm able to, so I shouldn't call my insurance. I have to make the claim, I guess. So I should call and make the claim.
My honest advice is I would call my attorney first,
Okay.
and then make your claim with your attorney. A lot of times when you call, they'll record your line,
Okay.
and what they'll do is they'll try to get you, to say things that could or could not hurt your case.
Affect you in the future.
Affect
And
you
you
in the
might not be in your right mind, right? Some people are not, or they can't, recall a lot of things because they could have had a head injury like I did, and not able to remember. So you recommend calling an attorney first.
Absolutely. You deserve to have your benefits and your rights explained to you. And an attorney, the first thing a good attorney will do is he'll explain every single benefit you're entitled to, and then you'll be armed with that information when you speak to your insurance company. I can't speak to, obviously, what the insurance company will do when you call, but their interest, again, is to pay out the least amount of benefits as they can.
Okay, so Tom, now I got a different scenario for you. Say I'm in an accident and I'm not responsive, and my family is at the hospital and I'm like unconscious or not able to respond. What should my family do?
I would also suggest, your family calling an attorney, getting a good understanding of the law because they're going to have to step into your shoes and then, take over a lot of those decisions for you.
Okay.
And of course, I would also recommend that your family research medical care. What most people don't know is no-fault insurance is actually the best insurance policy, medical insurance policy in the entire state. You have unlimited medical benefits for the rest of your life. Usually with no deductibles, except for in very rare circumstances. And so you can almost go to any doctor you want, and you should be researching the very best doctors for your care.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, most people don't take advantage of it.
Wow. So, what is my insurance company's responsibility? So when you contact them on my behalf, and I've called you and you've helped me make my claim, what is their responsibility to me?
So they have a lot of responsibilities, and I'll be honest with you, they often do not live up to these responsibilities. Their responsibility is to pay for all of the treatment that's related to your injuries from the auto accident, and they have 30 days once they're presented with reasonable proof, medical records and a bill to pay those. Often I've seen them let those lapse in many clients' case. Then you're getting bill collectors calling you. And that's another reason you want to get an attorney on your case almost immediately is if they don't pay your bill for 90 days, 120 days, and the doctors are putting your bills in collection, your credit score is getting hurt.
Yes, and I had that issue too. Thank God it was resolved in my settlement, but it was just, inconvenience for me. What about, I know you said, if you have a good attorney, how do you know if you had a good attorney or not?
It's a great question, Helen. You need to have somebody that you are comfortable with. Every attorney should be competent. We're all licensed. We're all barred. But it really comes down to your comfort level with somebody and knowing that they're going to take a personal interest in your case.
Okay, so now we got people. We're fiending for everybody. I got you out there. I know what you're saying. What if I don't have insurance? So what if I don't have insurance? I get hit, or I'm driving somebody's car. They ask me to go to the store. I don't know if they have insurance, and I get hit while I'm driving their car. You don't always know those things. So what did I do then?
I'm really appreciate you asked that question because a lot of times there's people that borrow someone's car for the first time who really would check in the glove box for insurance. You don't know, you get in an accident, they don't have insurance, and then these people stay at home hurt because they don't understand that they are entitled to a lot of benefits. So no matter if you're in a car without insurance that belongs to somebody else, or if you're in a passenger in somebody's car that doesn't have insurance, you're entitled to all the same benefits as if you had insurance, all the same no-fault benefits. Wage loss, replacement services, which is money around the house to clean for 3 years if you need that. Attendant care, that's help with your body if you need that. Your medical bills paid. The only way in this entire scenario in this state that you're not entitled to these no-fault benefits that we're discussing is if you're driving a vehicle that you own and you don't have insurance. That is actually a crime in itself, and then it will bar you from your benefits. Or if you take somebody's car and they tell you, look, I don't have insurance, then you will also be barred.
So if I don't have insurance on my car and I get into a car accident, that's illegal for one, right? And there's nothing that anyone can do for me.
At that point, there's not much that can be done. Now, let's say that you have a car and you don't have insurance, but, it's somebody else's car and they're driving it and you're the passenger, that won't affect you. But the legislator wanted to kind of give an extra penalty. And in fact, I got to warn against driving uninsured. Car accidents cause about 50,000 deaths in America a year. You really do need to be insured. I know it's very expensive. You need to be protected for that. And and besides the criminal matters, and then even worse, you can be charged if you're in an accident and you don't have insurance. They can actually go after you personally.
Yeah, and I have been into, conferences with the city of Detroit and even Mayor Duggan where he's talked about trying to lower those rates in Detroit. So hopefully they're going to make some changes soon to make car insurance more affordable. And, it's just unfortunate that in some areas it's more expensive and other because of the risk. So.
Yeah, some of that's the risk, and I will be honest, I think some of it is just greed by the insurance companies. They'll often blame it on people claiming too many benefits or greedy plaintiff attorneys, but the truth is they're all making profit. They wouldn't be in the state selling their product if they weren't.
Right.
Legally, we're forced to buy their product, and they're still making.
That's true.
We're making they're making these ridiculous profit margins. I agree with you. I think the government needs to step in and start offering a government insurance opportunity for people. The prices are ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, you state representatives that are watching, I know it's a few of you that have programs on this show, so hopefully we can make some changes on the state and federal level for auto insurance. Now, in the rare occasion, and I hope this never happens, someone dies in an auto accident, whether insured or not. Is their family liable for some of their benefits if it was a wrongful death or whatever?
Absolutely, there is some assistance given. You can get up to $5,000 for the funeral expenses, which can help at that time of need. Obviously, nothing's going to replace the person, but you're entitled to 85% of your lost wages for 3 years after an accident if you can't go back to work. And the family that would be dependent on that can have some of that money shifted over to them in most circumstances. And then if somebody caused your death, that can be a huge lawsuit. So all those benefits can be gone after. And, the shocking thing is that there are people that kill other people on the road because they're drinking and driving, or their corporations made them drive too many hours. Things like that, and there's people that are unaware that those benefits exist because it's so complex, and they don't go after the benefits that they're entitled to.
So now, I know that they were talking on the news the other day about our horrible roads in Michigan. So now, I'm a person, I try to avoid, potholes on the freeway. It's hard to avoid them,
Sure.
So I tell people, if you can, but don't try to avoid them so much where you're going to go out of your lane and it's going to cause an accident. But in the event that I have an accident due to something like that, it's not actually with another person. What would I be allowed the same benefits if I'm insured?
That's a great question. Absolutely. And there's so many benefits left on the table that, because people don't understand things like that. If you run into a tree, you're still entitled to benefits just as if you were hit by a car.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
as long as you're operating your motor vehicle at. So, and a lot of times too, people are hesitant to come after these benefits because they look at it as a handout. But what I tell people is insurance is something you've actually already paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And you should never let the insurance company who's making all this profit keep the benefits that you're entitled to and feel bad about getting benefits that you've already paid for.
Amen to that. I mean, if you paid and invested in it, then if you need it, then you should definitely get what you need, you know. So if, okay, say for instance, okay, I know I was told before, and I want to confirm this with you, Tom. So if, because we have bad weather in Michigan and people, you know, have lots of accidents, you cannot blame the weather on your accident. Is that correct?
It depends on what circumstance that's happening on, but the law, especially from a criminal aspect, expects you to, even though it is slightly unreasonable, to drive towards those conditions. So,
Wow.
you know, you really want to drive as slowly as you can, because the last thing you want to do is slam into a tree, have your car broken, get hurt, and then have a cop roll up and give you a ticket for
Right.
not driving safely. Because it doesn't just have to be an accident with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
They can actually give you a ticket as well.
Right. Now, I know one thing. When I got into my car accident, there was more of psychological and emotional issues more than physical. I mean, I did have a concussion. However, I had like a phobia of driving for a while and driving a new car because, you know, my car was totaled. And, you know, I was just, you know, not right, you know, mentally. Do they support those services as well?
Yes, mental services are completely covered as well,
Okay.
and it's great that you bring that up. You know, Ralph Nader allegedly wouldn't ride in a car for decades. We get in these vehicles that are thousands of pounds, and we drive, you know, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour in some circumstances. Maybe we're not supposed to. And, you
Uh-oh.
know, you don't realize until you get hit by another vehicle that's thousands of pounds how extraordinary and dangerous driving can be, and a lot of people experience those phobias.
Yeah. Okay. So they offer all of these things, and we got Attorney Thomas here now. If you have any questions for him, you can definitely got operators standing by. You can call 844 Tom Fights, and from what I know, he fights for you. So hopefully, hopefully you don't need his services, but if you do, you should go to somebody that is well trusted and that can help you with your situation, because myself, I was not knowledgeable, and I don't think that I maximized on my benefits like I could. Now, because I, you know, have my own company, I'm self-employed. I know you said you get benefits 85%, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, is that something that everybody gets if you have insurance, or is it just on your policy, or how does that work?
No, absolutely. So any income, there's caps, obviously, but any income, if it's, you know, you could do hair on the side as an independent contractor once or
that's good
twice
to
a
know.
week. Yeah.
Okay.
And I see a lot of people like that because they hurt their shoulder in the accident, they can't do it. And they don't even consider it as, you know, real income or income they can go after, but it doesn't have to be a normal job. Also, some people are looking for a job actively, and let's say they were going to start a week after the accident. You can still be entitled to all that income, even though you weren't employed at the time of the accident, if you were going to be employed.
Oh, okay. So, look, you guys got benefits and you don't even know it. I mean, and if you don't, and that's not just for full coverage, right? Because I'm thinking full coverage.
Absolutely, and yeah, I want to be clear on that. It's every insurance policy, no matter what it is, as long as you have the insurance policy that allows you to drive in Michigan. It doesn't have to be, you know, a platinum level. All of these benefits are required by law for the insurance company to give you, which is medical benefits for life, help around the house money, attendant care money, and wage loss.
Okay, so now I got a real good question for you. So I have my driver's license in Michigan, but I'm riding or traveling. Now, I'm not in Michigan when I'm in an accident. Should I do the same thing, or how does that work?
Absolutely. So your policies will usually protect you if you're not gone for long stretches of time. But you always want to look at the exact policy language on everything, and that's why you need to go see an attorney, because it can be very specific. For example, let's say that you're in and out of the state for whatever reason, and you have a Florida car and you're insured in Florida. Well, if you have State Farm in Florida and you get in an accident in Michigan, they have to cover you even if your policy is out of state, if it's an insurance company that does business here. However, if you're here for 30 days, not in a row, off and on, for a whole year, let's say, you're at school. So you come here for 3 weeks on a break, then you come here for another 2 weeks. If you're driving a car, even though it's insured in another state, you have to, in order to be covered here, let's say you have to have insurance, regardless if another state may or may not make you. You have to have insurance coverage here if you're going to be consecutively in the state for 30 days, or you'll be an uninsured driver.
Okay, so I'm usually covered if I have a policy, even if I go, like, on a vacation, a road trip or something.
Yep, you're usually covered.
Now, one last question I have for you that I don't know if it affects everyone, but if I go out of town or something, I usually rent a car. And I use my insurance because I have commercial coverage, and if I'm doing it for work, then I'll use my insurance and opt out of the insurance for the rental car company. Now, I would still be covered the same way if something like that were to happen, right?
Yes, you're usually covered under your insurance policy. Now, I should say it's another reason it's important to call an attorney. There's a thing called order of priority, which is too complex to really go over on the show, but basically for scenarios,
do that next week.
Yes. For scenarios like that, for scenarios where maybe you're a passenger in a car and you would think, well, maybe the person's coverage that has the car is what I'm under, but it'd be your insurance or somebody you live with's insurance. There's a whole order of priority that lists and figures out what insurance you're actually under in this state.
Oh, okay.
And
I got you.
And an attorney has to go through all of it with you.
Okay. Well, we got some good information today. So I know that we're going to be here every week. So every Thursday at 1, we'll be here. And Attorney Tom will be here if you want to ask questions. We're going to try to do a call-in. Sometimes call-ins are funny. I've had issues with call-in calls, so we'll see. It's growing on me, okay? We'll see if we can do that. If not, we'll answer your questions off the air. Some questions are not meant to be answered spontaneously, so, with respect to that. If you need to talk with Attorney Tom, you can reach him at 844-TOM-FIGHTS. That is TOMFIGHTS. So you can call. There are people standing by, or you can leave a message and ask your questions, and he will get with you. Now, he has 2 locations, Huntington Woods and Southfield, for your convenience. And I think that if I am ever in a car accident, which I hope not, I'm definitely calling you, Tom. That's for sure.
Appreciate it, Helen.
Yes. I want to thank you all for being here with us on Attorneys Are Us. Okay. And I'm going to just talk about my sponsors because I got a little more time. So the sponsor for this show is Attorneys Are Us. Sure. They're sponsoring their own show to give you this information. The reason for this show is to give you information. And all the shows that I do are just informative. And it's nice to have resources to give people. A lot of times we don't know what to do. A lot of times we don't know what to do with our health, so you watch the Wellness Report with Helen. A lot of times you don't know what to do if you're in an auto accident, so you watch Attorneys Are Us. You have options. So you can call us anytime. You can call me if you can't reach Attorney Tom. You know how to get in touch with me, the Wellness Report with Helen at Yahoo, or you can reach me via phone 248-805-2000. You can also call, like I said, Tom directly at 844-TOM-FIGHTS. Is there anything that you want to leave these people with, like some good dessert so they can take with them in case they're in the event that they have an auto accident?
Absolutely. I would just say the insurance company is never your friend. They're not usually a good neighbor, and you always want to make sure you get an attorney. Under any circumstances, you really need protection. My firm has won millions of dollars for my clients. There's other good plaintiff attorneys in the state, and there's so many resources for you. The worst resource for you is your own insurance company because they have a perverse incentive to every dollar they pay you is profit they're losing. And your attorney has the other incentive. You may think, oh, an attorney's too expensive for me to get. Most attorneys like me, including myself, what we do is we only get paid if we win. Mm-hmm. So my firm takes a third of what we win. If we lose, we don't charge you anything. So you don't have to have a dollar to come and get help
That's
from
a
a law
good
firm.
point. That is a good point. And another thing I noticed, like when I called my insurance company when I put my claim in, I think they were reading a script. Like
Sure.
they were, I don't really like, of course I like live TV, so I don't like scripts. But I know they were like, oh, hi, Miss Helen. Are you okay? Nothing happened, did it? You didn't hurt yourself? And it was like they were reading, and that was just kind of, cheesy. So to have someone when you're in an emergency just talk to you. I'm sure your people don't have scripts that they have to read. So,
Absolutely.
so that's an advantage. So hopefully, you'd call. I wish I had these resources. I had no guidance and I didn't know what to do. But I did get a good attorney that I know, and that kind of helped me along the way as well. So that's something that you definitely should do. Once again, if you need to reach Tom, you can call him at his office, 844-TOM-FIGHTS, and he will fight for you in the event that you're in an auto accident. What other services, I forgot, do you provide? It's slip and fall, things like that too. So.
Slip and fall, workers' compensation if you're hurt at the job. We like criminal cases because there's also a lot of either police brutality or governmental abuse going on as well. So we'd be happy to talk to you about any criminal matters as well.
Okay, so you got a lot of things. So we'll be talking about a lot of stuff on the show, not just auto accidents, because we don't want to leave those other people out. If you, like I said, if you were involved in a slip and fall, I know a lot of times those things are taken lightly, but I know that myself, because of the weather or what have you, I fell and, I didn't know what to do, so that'll be good. If you could just, if you have a resource and you want to call and ask those questions, and nothing hurts, and just calling and, getting the information you need. So like I said, again, you can reach Tom at 1-844-TOM-FIGHTS. This will be every Thursday at 1 o'clock. We will air here on the show. If there's any, I'll give you my email, the wellness report with Helen at yahoo.com. If you have any questions or any topics that you want to know about on the show, and we will leave you anonymous if that's what you would like, and you can just ask the question and we'll get back with you personally. We don't have to air it on the show if you like your privacy. So but we are here for you every Thursday, so we will be here. So you get your questions ready, write them down, and next time when you air in, and have your question ready and we will answer it. Again, thank you for watching Attorneys Are Us. I am your host, Helen. We will see you next week, Thursday, and you have a great day.
Yeah, number one ghetto boy. 248-632-PAIN, 24-hour hotline, We specialize in helping auto accident victims. You feel me? Call right now. Hey. Car accidents, they ain't no fun. Know the people you can call for a hit and run. Specialize in helping auto accident victims. It don't matter, they help men, women, and children. Can't spare your wealth without your help. And they 24 hours calling if you need help. Call for anything, it don't matter what's the reason. They helping everybody, they on deck if you need them. Say somebody hit your car and they kept going. Just call the hotline and we got help coming. They gon' pull right up like they left coming. 248-632-PAIN, that's the best number. Yeah, make sure you call the hotline, we working 24 hours. 248-632-PAIN. You can't spend your wealth without your help, homeboy. Hey, 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 hey. 248-622-PAIN, let's get it.